everyone, welcome to the next instalment from this video from Seasons by Hanna Karlzon. We have our little spring selection of items here, and we're going to do the daffodil today, leaving the egg till last. So let's come in nice and close, and whoops, that's quite fast. I hope I haven't made you too dizzy. There we go, and get started on our lovely flower. Now daffodils are usually oranges and yellows. That's how I'm going to do this one. I think it's easier. Sometimes they're white. It's quite difficult, so I'm going to make it easier for myself and for you. So we don't want it really bright yellow. Sorry, bright orange. But I'm going to start with the cadmium orange on this very centre pieces here. Now we have these little bits, we're going to do these with the cadmium orange. So I'm just going to go around the edge of them and then make it a little bit lighter in the middle. Don't necessarily want any white there, but I just want to try and make them look a little bit more shapely, as it were, by making them darker on the edge. And just doing the same with each one. That one's quite difficult. I'm just going to go over that one because it's too narrow. So around and around, a bit less in the middle. So I hope you're all well. The sun is trying to shine today, and I don't want it to come out until I finished, because it might start throwing its sunlight all over the desk and messing with my light, which I don't want. So I'm willing it not to. I'm sorry for all those people that love the sun, but just wait a bit. Wait for me to finish. Now I'm going to use the dark chromium yellow for the centre. I may decide to darken it up later with some more oranges, but I'm just going to go with this to start with because I think it is rather an orangey yellow anyway. I'm going to fade it up to the end. We're going to add another colour in to do a graduation of colour, really. I want it definitely looking darker down here. I mean, Rita, no, she didn't do this. Hannah has drawn some dots down here to indicate, I think, that there's some shadow, so it would be darker. And if you think about the shape of the daffodil trumpet, it would always have more shadow down here. And we can do the shadow in different ways. You can do it as if it was just a darker colour, which is what I'm doing at the moment, by just layering it up a little bit more down here. Or you can use a grey to actually make it look like there's shadow. I might do that later. I might not. I'm going to see how it looks. I'll make up my mind later. This is not a photorealistic picture, so we don't need to worry about making it look identical or perfect or anything. We just want to make it look pretty. So it may look prettier without doing that, but I'll decide a little later what I think. So this, I think this would be a bit lighter because it's sort of turned up to the sky, I guess. Oh, you can see my lines. Go away lines. So I'm going to use the next colour that I come across in my tray, which is the dark cadmium yellow, which is a sort of less orangey, and go right over the top of everything here. You can see it makes it nice and vibrant. And not this bit, by the way, just this trumpet part, not those are the seeds, I think. I don't know if I made them a little bit too orange. I think they're normally the same colour as this, or maybe even a bit of green, but I think it will look pretty, which is almost as important as making it look realistic. Have you seen those blue and pink daffodils? Have you ever seen them? I would say that they were photoshopped, apart from the fact that I've actually seen them real. So you can get ones which have white, pure white outside petals, and the trumpet is blue or pink. I don't really like them. I think maybe I'm just being old-fashioned and boring, but to be honest, when you look at a daffodil, you expect it to be yellow. That's their colour. It's a bit odd when they're a different colour, and the beautiful warmth and energy that comes from them is very much what I associate with springtime, cadmium yellow. I'm going to do the edges of these, you know. Oh, that's upsetting. That doesn't happen with polychromos. So yes, I find this sort of warm positivity is really lovely. I think it's what people like about the daffodils and about springtime. So to have them a different colour seems a little strange. I'm going to do it quite a lot of layers along the edge here, and then less towards the tip. We'll put a lighter colour on the end there. Do the same here. Get some bits. So I'm beginning to see daffodils coming out when I'm making this, at the time of making this video. Probably by the time you see the video, there's probably lots of daffodils out. Well, depending on where you are. If you're in Australia, you probably don't get a lot of daffodils in March, to be honest. You're probably getting your autumnal blooms, whatever you have. I don't really know. And I don't know if you get daffodils in other countries. I think America has them. I'm not sure. You have crocuses, I know that. But I always associate daffodils are the national flower of Wales. So they're sort of associated with the UK. But that doesn't mean to say that they don't grow anywhere else. I mean, like England is rose, I think. Is it rose? Is that just a Tudor flower? I don't know. Anyway, I think but roses are sort of quintessentially English, aren't they? You think of your English country garden, etc. But this is the teeny pencil. I'm just looking up the name for you. It is the light cadmium yellow. We're going to finish off these tips. But I know they can be grown in Australia. And my cousin used to grow them. So obviously, but so many of our plants and flowers aren't native to this country. They were brought in the Victorian era by the plant. They called plant hunters or plant collectors. I'm not sure. And brought in all sorts of exotic things. There's a famous greenhouse, I don't know where it is or what it's called, that grows bananas. Is it the Cavendish banana, which is the type that we eat in this country? And they've got some there. So, and I think some conservatories have pineapples, but outside here we can't, it's not tropical enough to grow that sort of thing, which is a shame. I think banana is our most popular fruit in this country with regards to eating, or one of them, and yet we don't grow them here. We grow apples and pears and plums and strawberries and peaches and blackberries and currants and things like that, but not bananas. Now, you could just leave it here if you want to, but I was talking about putting some grey for some shadow. I'm going to demonstrate that, and you can decide if you want to add it into yours or not. But I just think it might be useful. I'm actually not going to use grey though. I'm going to use dark sepia because it's slightly brown, and I think that might be a more natural shadow colour for the yellow, but I'm just guessing. And I'm going to use Hannah's pointers here, where she's drawn lines and things, but let's have a think ourselves as well. So she's shown a shadow here, but I'm thinking it might just be quite close to these pods, seed pods, or I don't know what they are. Are they the stamen or the, what's the other one? I don't know. It's a long time since I did biology. So something called a staple? I don't know. So I'm just putting a little bit of darker in there to look shadowy. And what I'm going to do as well is to just go where these are overlapping, just pop a bit in to just emphasize those lines. And I'm thinking across here, where this petal is, it might be casting a bit of a shadow. Okay, now here, look, under here, as there would be a shadow there, but also this lip would be causing a little bit, so I'm going to make it a little thicker there, and then we might see a bit around there, like that. Across here, sorry, I've put my hand at an awkward place, I think. And then maybe across here, just a tad, and under here. Now, I'm not thinking we'll necessarily see shadow here, because I think it would actually be underneath here. We can't see it, so we're looking from a different angle. I'm thinking we might see a little bit here, where the petals are overlapping, and in there. You can see it just slightly emphasises the shape. I'd quite like to put some around here because I think it will just help this to stand out from here. So I'm going to do it anyway, even though I'm not convinced that it would actually be there. But it will just sort of thicken this black line and, as I say, make it stand out a little bit more. So I'm taking a bit of an artistic license here because I don't think it would actually look like this. There we go. Let's have a look. I'm just going to sit back. I think that's helped. It just bring it forward a little bit, but I don't know. It might just be me seeing what I'm hoping to see rather than what's actually there. I'm just going to add a bit more. Inside our trumpet, I'm thinking I want a little bit more up here. I'm just going to go gentle little strokes up here. Let's have a look here. Maybe it might be a bit more there. Just gently building up the layers of colour. Actually under here, because this is an overlap. Be a little bit here too. Like that. Yeah, you could go over these lines, but I think I'm just going to leave it there. I could fiddle and faddle, but I think that's going to be enough. Let's pop that in the middle there. I'm just checking if my colours are bright enough for me, but they are. I'm happy with that one. I do find it quite difficult to work out whether I've got an even layer of yellow, particularly the lighter yellow. I can't really see it, but it might look a little bit splodgy. If it does, the idea is for it to actually be smooth, so if it does look too splodgy for your liking, if you can see, or if on yours, you can smooth it out by just doing a few more layers of the lightest of the light cadmium yellow. So yeah, but I'm going to leave it there. I had fun with that one. I do like colouring daffodils. I think there's one. It's not this book, is it? There was one just on the first page of one of my books, so I might have a go at that sometime soon too. Anyway, I'm wittering on. I'm going to go. Have a really lovely day. Yeah, enjoy spring. Make the most of it, because the greens at this time of year are absolutely beautiful in the UK particularly. I don't know about other countries, but when you look up to the hill and look at the fresh new grass and the fresh new leaves coming out on the trees, the colours are such a beautiful green, and it doesn't last long. So make the most of it and enjoy. Take some photos maybe. Share them with me if you like. Anyway, I hope you have a really, really lovely day. Enjoy yourself and happy colouring.